know what to believe anymore with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia claims that Devin Haney set him up, you know, the whole PED shenanigans and the scandal about Ryan Garcia testing positive for ostarine. People were talking about a billionth of a gram, and people suddenly became scientists and said that it affected Ryan Garcia this much. It didn't affect him at all. His performance, you know, was enhanced. It wasn't this and that. And let's get down to, you know, what the root truth is, because Devin is saying that his brother just had a dream that, you know, Ryan Garcia would pop positive, and Ryan was saying, how would your brother even know? Because apparently Devin Haney's little brother predicted that Ryan Garcia would test positive, you know, the day after Ryan Garcia put a beating on Devin Haney. And people are saying that, you know, it's a coincidence. It's not, but Ryan is saying that it was a setup, because how would his little brother possibly know? But Devin Haney said that he didn't. He just, you know, had a little dream, and ultimately it turned out to be true. So, you know, whatever side you're on, whatever the case may be, the facts are that Ryan Garcia did test positive. Although a billionth of a gram may seem little, you know, it's still over the limit of, you know, legality in the sport. So we have rules for a reason in the sport of boxing, and we can't have, obviously, positive testing. We don't know for a fact that it came from Ryan intentionally taking PEDs, because you'd think that if he really wanted to gain a benefit from it, he wouldn't only have a billionth of a gram, he'd have more in his system, right? But ultimately it was in his system, and the New York Athletic Commission, as a result, ruled it as a no contest. Now, what makes it interesting is the rematch, you know, the highly anticipated grudge match between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, because now it's gotten personal. We've gotten lawsuits, litigation involved in this, you know, super fight where honestly it's going to be highly anticipated. So much animosity for a single rematch between Haney and Ryan Garcia, where it seemed like a relatively one-sided fight. But now factoring into the equation the fact that Ryan Garcia popped positive for ostarine, people are going to start talking about whether or not it was legitimate. And this is Ryan's chance to, you know, ultimately clear his name once and for all. If Ryan Garcia goes in there against Rolly Romero, stops Rolly Romero, ends up moving on to that Haney rematch, stops Devin Haney, then he's probably on top of the boxing world, you know, as he already is in terms of being a draw. But beating those two guys in impressive and, you know, stunning fashion will give him the ticket to superstardom, you know, even at a higher level than he already was at. So I feel like this rematch between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia has so much weight. It's a very consequential boxing match. People don't understand, because if Ryan Garcia loses, then people are going to say, oh, it was the ostarine, it was the PEDs. People are going to jump on the Devin Haney bandwagon. But if Devin loses, they're going to say, oh, the first fight wasn't a fluke. So both guys have so much riding on that rematch between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, to the point where this could be career changing for both fighters, because Devin loses to Ryan Garcia, potentially gets stopped again. You know, not that he got stopped in the first fight, but if he takes a beating again and eventually gets stopped in a second fight where Ryan Garcia tests clean, man, I don't know how he would come back from that. But if Devin Haney finds a way to beat Ryan Garcia, cruises to a decision, and outclasses him in a rematch, which I think is very possible, then Devin Haney's career, you know, jumps ahead of Ryan Garcia's career. But they both have to get past May 2nd first. Rolly Romero and Jose Ramirez, two fighters that, yeah, you could say Rolly's an easy fighter to beat, Ramirez is an easy fighter to beat, but if you really look at it, both guys have their strengths. You know, Ramirez has a strong punch. He's a good body puncher. He'll go to Devin Haney's body, throw a left hook, same way, you know, Ryan Garcia does. That's why the Haneys picked Ramirez as an opponent. They wanted to see a glimpse of a left hook, but not exactly that Ryan Garcia left hook, because that hook clearly caused a level of PTSD. And I'm not even trying to be funny. You know, there was literal trauma in that left hook. So I don't think Devin's ready to see Ryan Garcia's left hook, you know, up close and personal again. That's why they're taking this Ramirez fight as a stepping stone to that rematch. But it is still soon. You know, if you look at it, if they fight, you know, May 2nd, Ramirez loses to Devin Haney like we anticipate, then Haney's back at it in September, back in New York to fight Ryan Garcia in a rematch. That's like a very fast activity rate. You know, that's very fast from going to a fight in May, which isn't an easy opponent against Ramirez, and then going into that highly anticipated grudge match, assuming that Haney outclasses Ramirez like we're all expecting. I feel like Devin Haney's, you know, fast-tracking everything, but it could, you know, allow him to win it all, or he could lose it all. And that's just, you know, goes with taking the risk that Devin Haney is doing. But I respect it very much. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Catch you guys in the next Nabs Boxing video. Peace.